Okay.
How do we even start this? Like, where do we start from this?
We've already started.
First thing I think is Tomb Raider.
Dude, we haven't even literally started yet.
Okay. You haven't even finished the topic.
So welcome to part 2 now of what we believe was episode 3 of the CAPMAX video podcast. In the last episode we discussed saving Nintendo. Did it need to be saved? And, you know, we shared our thoughts and opinions. And now we're going to discuss the hypest topic on the internet. It's the biggest, most exciting topic. Thank you, feminist frequency. Sexism in gaming. Biggest thing these days is discussing mostly women's roles in video games. Are they just property for the protagonist and antagonist to fight over? Do they have personalities worth caring about? Are they real? Are they real people? It's kind of weird to say all this sort of stuff for video games. Yeah, sexism in gaming. First of all, I just want to know, when did we stop caring about guns in gaming? Isn't that a bigger concern? Little kids playing their Call of Duties, isn't that an issue for people anymore?
Well, I think that's like a political issue, whereas...
Well, this is
sex,
too.
I mean, it's not...
Yeah, it's not
as
like,
much.
Yeah.
They don't like make laws over
We've accepted it so completely. I just think that's kind of weird. I think that's a very American
They
thing.
do sometimes.
It's like we've just all gotten so used to the first-person shooter genre and all. I just think it's kind of weird that we all care so much about fictional people's roles in fictional games, but then
The same
guns
thing that
don't.
comes
No one really
down
cares
to
about guns
is
anymore.
digital versus reality. I mean,
Yeah,
well, I mean, it's like how
it's a weird discussion.
Well, it's like how racism played a humongous freaking deal over Resident Evil 5. Just because it's like, I'm sorry, but
it took place in Africa.
yeah,
Exactly. I
but
mean, wouldn't it be racist if it was all white people? And...
no, apparently not. 1 through 4 apparently doesn't matter. It's like, we're killing white people. Who cares? As soon as you kill a black man.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was just all white people in Africa, wouldn't that be racist? Because
What?
they're
What's
like,
the
oh, only white
controversy
people live in
exactly?
Africa.
Well,
It'd
no,
be like East Africa
well,
liberation.
but no, Resident Evil 5, the big thing was simply the fact that you're killing only African zombies.
Yeah.
And that's what the
Africa.
big freaking
Exactly.
deal was.
Well, who was
Everyone-
your character? Was he a white man?
Yeah. Or
Okay,
a black woman. But a bump.
Oh, so you could be a black character.
Yes.
And it was just depending who the character was. And,
Yeah.
Okay, well.
But apparently it didn't matter. It's like, you're killing black zombies, big deal. You're killing zombies.
Yeah,
somebody's
yeah,
gonna kill those zombies,
Yeah.
regardless.
You're killing zombies, who
race.
cares?
Whoever's
Gender.
pointing that out is probably more racist than the
Yeah, no.
whoever's making the...
You know what's really racist?
They don't even think
those
about it.
Olympics. Pitting the races against each other. Oh.
Having races against races.
Believing in anything at any time is racist.
Let's get back to the
Yeah.
sexism.
Anyways.
Now, you got your Nintendo princesses, for example. You got your Princess Peach, your Princess Zelda. Seems like the only thing they do is get captured.
However,
Zelda's
Mario,
different.
help me.
Actually, good thing.
Sheik, hello, Sheik.
That's
Sheik is
true.
way more badass
Okay,
than
okay,
Link
okay.
ever
But
was.
why does
Hold
she
on,
have
hold
to pretend to be a
on.
boy?
I like where this episode is
Because
headed.
it's
Okay, well, obviously,
because
she's a
she's
princess,
Zelda,
like, yeah,
and
she's
if
got
she
a princess,
wasn't,
but-
I mean, Ganondorf is after
Well,
Zelda.
I mean, considering what we were just playing, okay, Super Mario 3D World. She's back in
That's
play.
not what we're playing.
Yes, but I'm talking about. But I'm talking about, like, we were playing Super Mario Wii U. Yes.
Yeah.
Where she was captured. However, in this turn, Peach is playable in Super Mario 3D World.
So she's not
So
being
she's back.
captured.
She's out of that
Yeah,
hole again.
I'm
Well,
really
that could
excited
be
about it.
Daisy captured, though.
Probably,
It's-
or Rosalina, or one of the other.
Pauline.
many. Yeah.
Pauline.
Well,
I don't think they're gonna bring.
I don't
Pauline
think so.
back.
She was like
she's-
Italian.
Okay, wait, who is Pauline?
Pauline was the original
From
one.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Mario and Donkey
Oh,
Kong.
okay, okay,
She's
yeah.
like-
Also,
What do you say from
arguably one of the
Donkey
first
Kong?
damsels in distress. Yeah.
Oh.
Where
One
she
of-
just
yeah,
stands and going,
Nintendo's
help,
original-
wait for Mario to save her.
Yeah, Nintendo's original damsel in distress.
Okay,
It's like,
cool.
help me, you do, there you go.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
Now, it seems like it's, in one of those feminist frequency videos, they point out that as soon as Sheik becomes Zelda, she's instantly captured in a crystal. How about that?
That's because Ganondorf is after Zelda for the
He didn't know.
Triforce.
He didn't know she was Sheik, though.
No, it's
And
just
she gets caught. She gets caught pretty darn quickly as soon as she becomes Zelda.
Mhm.
He's like, poof, there you are. Poof, crystals. Poof. I don't think it's...
Maybe he had like some Zelda sense or something.
Well,
My Zelda senses are tingling.
Well, no, I think it's the fact. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. I just feel like like maybe they could make other characters in Zelda games that would be like Sheik, but would be women instead of being men.
It's a
Even though
lazy
they're not
plot
men.
point. I can see where she's coming from.
Well,
like,
in the combination here, the fact that Sheik was following around Link, and I think it's the simple fact that Ganondorf was watching what Link was doing. So the fact that Princess Zelda shows up, oh, perfect freaking coincidence, captured.
now, I don't remember the scene at all because it's been a long time since.
Yeah.
It almost reminds me of Final Fantasy VII when you're in the thing, and then what's name's in the thing, and then Sephiroth comes down and is like,
Oh,
poke, and you're like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Skyward
He
Sword,
sort of
like
pops in, I don't know, maybe.
Zelda was a little
Yeah.
bit different. Like
Yeah,
she was,
she was actually doing her own quest. the
yeah, and she
entire
was like
time.
cool, like
And she
I'm
got
gonna-
captured at like the. Sorry.
Pinnacle.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I haven't played this game
Spoiler
either.
alert.
At
That's
the
another thing.
very-
Those
very
feminist
end
videos,
of
they
the
don't
game.
warn you about spoilers. They spoil like 5 games from you. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
But
oh.
please continue.
Yeah, we should put warnings across the screen.
That's
I think
fine.
they, yeah, there we go. We'll do something a la any Mega Man villain. It's like spoiler.
There won't be any of that edited in. Please continue, Brandon.
But yeah, I don't think Zelda is really a
That takes work.
princess in distress or whatever. Because like in most of the newer games, she fights back like Tetra.
Yeah, it's
Tetra
true.
is like a badass pirate for most of the game, and then as soon as she
As soon
turns
as she
into a
puts that
princess,
dress on.
yeah, as soon as they turn into the princesses,
Yeah.
they
I
get
I mean,
captured.
Twilight Princess. She gave over her powers to help Link and Midna.
Mhm.
So,
Super
I mean-
spoiler. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, and Midna is super badass female too, by the way.
Yeah, okay, that's
I mean,
true.
you don't really know she's a female until I guess.
Well, you know she's a
Partway
girl the whole
through.
time.
Yeah, you know she's a girl, but you don't
She's
know
like an
what
imp,
she
but-
is until the very end of the game.
Yeah,
Was she
Literally
the
the
Twilight
very-
Princess?
Yes.
Spoiled it for myself.
But yeah, you don't
Well,
notice
that's
this
kind
until
of
the very
obvious.
Oh, who else? Yeah, who else could it be?
Yeah, there's not
She's
really
like the only
It's
character.
Zelda.
It's just like the chick with like bugs or whatever. That's the only other chick you really deal with.
The
Yeah.
chick with bugs.
But yeah, I mean that's all it is. It's just
So,
If
yeah,
they
I don't
change
think
their-
Zelda at all fits into this topic.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're really focusing on
well,
Zelda.
she's well. That's the thing. I mean,
That's
Zelda
fine.
seems to be one of the
We have all
or
the
it
time in the
started
world.
out being that way. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
all a matter of how the characters evolve.
Yeah.
If they change their characters, because there's only been one game which focuses on Peach being the heroine.
Super
And
Princess
I,
Peach?
I feel like,
The one all about women's emotions?
yeah, her powers
Her
of
PMS.
PMS. like,
That is amazing.
I've never.
I want to
okay,
play
but-
that game so badly, but it's so hard to find. It's so
It-
expensive.
it's actually not a very
Nintendo
good
Prices
game.
episode
I've
part
played
1.
it. I got really bored with it. I also played another really horrible game called My World, My Way. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but you're a princess.
I want to play that. It sounds cool.
There's like a shining knight who comes by, and the princess is like, "I want you to bang me," and he's like, "No, because you're a princess." And she cuts off all her hair and goes on an adventure to become a strong princess lady.
Mhm.
Except she ends up just like
You don't need no white knight.
you have like these points where you can change things to be your way. So you'll like complain at the enemies and make them
Yeah.
go away, and like
Seriously.
you still
That's
always
an Atlas game, I think.
you still always have a bodyguard following you around,
That's right.
trying to like swoop in to save you. Like he's like,
That's cool.
"Oh my goodness, you're such a tool running around in the woods."
That's fun.
And
You
you're
just
like,
turn it
beating up-
on its head.
Yeah, it's horrible. It is a really bad game. Don't play it.
So, fun idea, but just crappy presentation.
Yeah, I'm sure some girls somewhere enjoyed it, or some guys.
Actually, sounds very feminist.
Well, I mean, also talk about feminism. I mean, all of these girly games that I guess may sell a bit, like Style Savvy and
Oh,
those.
I know a lot of guys that play Style Savvy. It's weird.
The thing I hate. Okay,
It's got Street Pass, you know.
sexism also goes both ways. The thing I hate about the Style Savvy cover is you see like the boyfriend like carrying the purses and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah." It's like, no, like guys don't want to do that. It's horrible.
Well, speaking on behalf of the women, is there any games that you can think of that you were offended by any possible things?
Definitely
Or-
Super Princess Peach, just because I was like,
Yeah,
What is this?
that was pushing the limit. I certainly
Um,
agree with that. I still want to play it, though, don't get me
I don't know. It's hard because like I don't mind like women being sexualized in games. That's not something like I think about and care about in the same way. So it's like if you're playing like Heavy
I
Rain.
mean, it's
It's
fictional. It's like all the guys are super buff, all the girls are super stacked. I mean, isn't that kind of what we want in the world? No. Like it
It
works
Depends
both
who you
ways.
are. Like okay, so like really buff guys usually.
Just the point.
Okay.
Zelda's going down next.
with like really buff guys, a lot of women aren't into that. That's
Yeah.
more men who are into
Not the same thing like
buff
the
men.
really busty girls. Maybe guys prefer smaller stat girls. Whatever you
Yeah,
call that.
some people do. Definitely.
Yeah.
And then like
Right.
Okami, like you play as a goddess, but most of the time people didn't even know you were playing as a goddess, and that was an awesome game,
Yeah.
which is too bad.
That was a cool game.
Yeah.
I stopped playing it. I beat the game, then there was like another game behind the first game, and I was like, eh.
Well, there's a sequel that's on the 3DS.
Okami then.
Or not 3DS, is it just DS?
Just DS.
Yeah.
Okami then.
Yeah. I never played it. Was it good?
I've never played it either.
No.
I was interested in
disappeared
playing
really
both
quickly,
of them, but I
Capcom.
never... Yeah, that's the thing. I was interested in playing both of them. I've never played either of them.
They're hard to find.
They had
Played
the
the first
original
one.
for Wii.
It's on PS3.
They
PS3.
had the one for Wii at Home Tech earlier. I was thinking about buying
Big
it.
shout out to Home Tech, local used game store in Victoria, BC.
But okay, this is what what bothers me is it's not sexism in gaming that's as bad. It's the
Mhm.
it's the male gaming population's view on women in gaming. Because I was talking to one of my coworkers.
The girl gamer,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
I was talking to one of my coworkers when I worked with games, and he was a guy, and we were talking about the sexism in gaming, and he was like, well, I don't like women in games. And I was like, why? He's like, they're so boring. Like, I just hate playing as girls because they're always so boring, and all their games are boring. And I was like, Tomb Raider. He's like, I hate Tomb Raider.
What? Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, man.
I think we can all agree that the Tomb Raider that just came out was a pretty good game.
Yep.
Hey, if I'm ever forced to play a fighting
that
game, I only ever play as the female characters most of the time. I just find them more interesting to play.
They're usually
Case in point,
faster.
That's
too.
the perfect example. Of any fighting game girl can kick the ass of any fighting game guy.
I mean, yes, okay, she
That is
is
true
seen
equality.
as a male,
The fighting.
but I choose Princess Zelda, and I immediately change into Sheik as soon as the
Yeah.
match starts. I'm
Sorry,
like,
Smash
Yeah.
kick
kick
the ass.
That's the top tier character
You
in
said
Smash
fighting
Bros. too.
But
Still, it's a fighting game.
But one of the
Sort of.
another sort of problem,
That's
like
funny.
it's not just the personalities, it's the way the characters are designed. Like, somebody actually took measurements between like the women's chins, all the Nintendo women, and their boobs, to see whether or not they'd be classified as real or fake. And all their boobs were way too close to their chins, and they were all classified as having fake boobs.
Now, could it be like weird princess
What about
push-up?
what about
Princess
Tetra?
Peach was the worst. They were like
Super
oh,
princess
you're
push-up. Someone fund this. Super princess push-up.
Kickstarter.
I know, right? Or Indiegogo. Although Kickstarter's coming to Canada, I think. I think that's what I was hearing.
I still, well,
That's a different topic.
Yeah.
I'm a grandma. I thought it was like Kickstarter's
You're a
internet.
grandma.
How can it not be in Canada?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I've backed 2 Kickstarters already, so I'm like,
Whoa, that's awesome. Which
Yeah.
ones?
one's a Grid 2.0, a bicycle deck, and one's a dice game called Dungeon Roll.
No,
Tabletop. There's a
No,
top right
Ouya?
there.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Where are the Ouyas? I have
I was
not seen a
reading-
single Ouya in
I
stores.
was reading an article that said like 50% of the people who have Ouyas haven't bought any games for them yet.
Yeah, they've been sticking
Or
with
like
the
use
demos.
them at
They're
all.
there's a lot of free games on a lot of every game has a demo version of itself.
Yeah, and that's exactly why people aren't caring.
Okay, what is happening here? This is not a sexism talk at
No,
all.
that's what I was about to say. It's like, let's get back to sexism.
We like to take the scenic route at times.
But
Constantly.
it's just like if you have a woman in a game, like she's almost always gonna be sexualized too. Like even Heavy Rain wasn't a sexual game. There's a shower scene with like the one chick and like a makeout scene and like everything that's like I don't know, like there was only one woman in that game and that's all she did, and you don't see women ever talk to each other unless they're talking about men or if they're fighting about men, like in Catherine, like
Heavenly
You see them.
Sword.
I haven't played Heavenly Sword, so
I played the demo, and that's all I
Launch
played. I
title.
mean, I wanted to get Heavenly Sword. It was an interesting looking game. I liked the combat. Again, the combat was really no different from God of War. But the fact is, you're playing as a female character. A female martial arts character, no less.
okay, what's the name of the guy who writes Game of Thrones? Like
George R.R. Martin.
And then
Yeah,
we'll
that's
add
what
some
I thought.
boobs.
yeah, because
You see
okay,
that SNL skit?
No.
Where it's like the co-writer of Game of Thrones.
No, I
13-year-old Billy. And it's just some old kid.
well somebody
It's great.
I gave
Nick
up on
Lance
SNL
and
so many
boobs.
years ago when
Yeah,
they got
I
rid of
know.
all the good actors. It's like,
and they
yeah.
stopped doing cocaine. Come on, I made the show. Somebody asked George R.R. Martin how he writes women so well, and his response was, "They're people too."
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, and it's true. Like people are like, even when girls are writing for girls, like, it still doesn't do it justice. Like, you're not any more complicated, but for some reason it just never comes across as well.
Yeah. Now, I was discussing the game Project Cross Zone on Facebook after watching a certain
Is that what
review.
you call it? I was always calling it Project X Zone.
Yeah, no, it is an X, but it's cool in Japan to say it's Project Cross.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, it's like Fire Emblem Cross. I totally lost it.
No, it's going. This is my discussion, my topic. Is we were talking about very sexist designs. Well, I like it, personally, but that's just me.
Well, wasn't there a guy who
Good-looking
comes up and
game.
take pictures of all the ladies as soon as they appear, or something like that?
I don't know. But there's this character at the start who's supposed to, I think she's supposed to be in high school or something, I can't remember, but she's super stacked. And then on Facebook we were in a mini discussion, we were discussing whether or not girls are too young in games. And if they're too stacked for, if they're underage. Has anyone ever found that? Like, first of all, who are we to decide how young a fictional character is or how old?
okay.
They don't even say.
Well, I mean, that can be said for anything that comes out of Japan. I mean, loli culture is...
Yeah.
Well, no, it's true.
No, I know, they've got a thing about the young
There
girls.
is a huge loli culture, and, I mean, whether there's any disparation between ages based on appearance. They'll be like 15 and stacked and be like, whoa, something's wrong with the story.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that comes to America or North America, they have to age the people up so they can do it in Canada and stuff.
That creeps me out.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very much a cultural thing, though, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it creeps me out too that, like, you can be a porn star, you can be a stripper at 18, but you're not even able to be drunk, like, while you're doing it. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a weird
so
world.
many
Unless
different
you're in
cultural...
That's Alberta.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many different cultural variances.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, it's also a matter of what kind of content is within the storyline. I mean, if there's sexualization below the age of 18, I can see there being problems.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just having a normal coming-of-age adventure, and you've got characters ages
On the
10 to
cusp
15,
of womanhood.
and you've got characters like, and I'm talking
flower.
boys and girls ages 10 to 15 on an age of adventure. I mean, think about it, okay? How old is Link when he starts his adventure? 10.
Really? Well, yeah.
Because
Pokemon Adventure,
his elf kid.
10.
Yeah, because they say he's ages
That's
10
weird.
and 17. Or
It's like you're
at
10
least
years
that's
old,
the
go out.
generalization.
That's
To
weird.
fight the
Old Link
animals.
doesn't seem 17.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, they've got so many different variances and ages that
Yeah.
that is the only game that I've ever seen any information as to an
Old
age
Link is
basis.
so cool.
But I mean, but no, I mean,
He's such a bro.
but I mean,
Comes out
feminism
earring.
for
Yeah,
I find that
earring.
hilarious. I always think about that. It's like, at what point was it like, yeah, I'm gonna get a piercing. Just like hop off his horse and like run into the town.
Raru like pierces his ear while he's out in the
Yeah, like when did
sacred
that
realm
piercing
or
happen?
whatever.
No. Yeah, where was he that when he becomes old in that Ocarina of Time? He just, there you go.
Yeah, it's
He
weird.
was like,
Did they just rob him of life? or
Yeah, he
something?
was sealed in the sacred realm for 7 years.
That's weird. It's like the hyperbolic time chamber.
Because
from
he
Dragon
wasn't
Ball, but
strong
in
enough to
reverse.
take on Ganondorf in his 10-year-old form.
oh, hyperbolic time chamber.
Okay, this is. Are we even talking about sexism anymore?
No.
I just want to know
I
one
was trying
thing.
to push it back to sexism with the whole loli thing and the ages and
In Majora's Mask, is it always the young Link?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's the
Okay,
different
back on
timeline.
topic.
It goes through that and has
well, and
Hyrule
but
Historia.
back to Majora's Mask. I mean, the sexism thing. You have to save the princess from the Forest Kingdom. So I mean, right there's another whole gotta save her, even though she's not in danger.
See,
It's only her father that thinks she's in danger.
Yeah.
See, my problem with like the sexism is having underdeveloped female characters. Not like, underdeveloped, but like personality-wise. Like Zelda's a bad example because I find they don't really build their characters very much. Not talking to each other very much. Women only being there because men want them to be there. Women only talking about the men that want them. Like, I don't know. I just want them to stay away from that. But men, you guys get bored when you watch stuff like that, and you're the demographic that people are aiming for. So.
Yeah, we got it good. Yeah, well.
But that's also the thing. I mean, just
The
talking
writers
about
are
that,
just
like
lazy
stories,
sometimes.
whether
Something
something
comes
has or lacks a story. So I mean, if your characters aren't there and you don't have a story, then what do you throw in there?
A lot of princesses being captured. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Always some woman.
Disney does that too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, their stories are based on classic.
And
literature,
also,
where that is often the case.
and also,
that's kind of the problem.
most of their
just
their
recycling the
movies
same idea over and over.
focus on the princess primarily, the prince secondary. So they are female focused.
Yeah, Disney
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Not female.
Yeah, the only
Characters.
one that like
Getting their airtime.
off the immediate top of my head. Well, sorry, two that immediately pop off the top of my head.
Mulan
that
and Tangled?
focus. No. I was gonna. You didn't let me finish my sentence about
I
the
love
ones that
both those
focus on the
movies.
men first. Is Aladdin and Lady and the Tramp. They focus on the man first.
Yeah.
Well, it's Lady and the Tramp. It's like a lot about Lady.
Alice in
I remember.
Wonderland.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
but-
too much about Tramp.
Oh yeah, true enough.
Like
So-
it's like Lady's home life.
True
and whatever.
Yeah, no, that's I just remember it focusing more around following him and then watching on her.
And then they eat the spaghetti, and it is adorable.
And that weird beaver. It's like, Shay, this works swell! And he's like on the collar.
I have not seen this movie in a long
Me
time.
neither. Since
It's
I
not
was
one of
like
my favorites.
10
I
or
like the Aladdin
something.
Oh,
movie.
Disney Infinity, Lady and the Tramp.
Hercules focuses on
Yeah.
the man first.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay,
even
Meg was
work.
so sexualized, though. Like,
She's kind of a bitch, too, from what I recall.
Yeah.
she was.
I guess she just kind of seduced Hercules.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't
it
know.
was-
Jasmine was pretty
It
stuck
was a
up,
matter
too.
of trying to get. Well, that's the thing with Meg. It was a matter of trying to get her soul back.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll screw over Hercules so that you
Hades.
can give me my soul back.
But see, like, okay, why did you think Jasmine was a bitch?
I can't remember this
I
one.
don't think.
I apologize.
Because there's like,
She was being forced to wed someone she didn't
yeah,
want to.
and there's like parts where she's talking about she's mad she's being treated as a trophy, so it's like she kind of has that right to
Yeah.
be,
That's why she tries to be
Rude.
viewed as a street rat a la Aladdin.
yeah.
So that she can get away from being confined.
But
Yeah,
then
we're never happy with what we have.
people are still like, oh well, Jasmine's a bitch, and it's like, well, she was upset because she was being forced
Yeah,
to marry
exactly.
someone, and then she almost ended up with Jafar, like
Yeah.
creepy.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Jafar had a stable job, that's all I'm saying.
Until he got killed. Wait, no, he didn't actually get killed. He got sealed.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Think
so
he
you
was
haven't
running
seen
things by the
Aladdin
end.
before.
It's like, if you haven't seen those
Versus
Um,
what? Aladdin and his imaginary wish power?
But okay, something else that I want to see happen in games is when people do try to be like, we're gonna be feminists, they take it too far and then they make it sexist towards the men, and then
What
they like
game-
emasculate the
Have
men.
there been any games that are like super...
I can't think of any
feminist?
games personally. I can only see. I can't even think of any games. I can only think of like TV shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
and then
but,
the theory.
yeah, and I would like to see them have a nice balance where everybody is essentially equal.
Tomb Raider's kind of like that.
Well, then,
Except Lara Croft's like way more powerful
Well-
than everybody else.
Well,
Like, oh,
she
look,
takes a
I'm
lot
just-
of bullets.
I'm just gonna go through like 100
lots of
exclusively
RPGs.
male people.
Lots of
enemies.
RPGs that
She
have.
falls off that mountain so many times.
Bayonetta also like they.
Now that is an empowered woman.
See, it's weird because it's like it kind of was, but kind
I
of
didn't
not.
say it was okay to touch.
And like like the way she walked was so funny. Like it was like I wasn't sure if they were aware that they made it
Holy
so
crap.
sexualized it was ridiculous. And I felt like it almost made fun of the fact, which was kind of nice, but there was like the dancing scene at the end of the game and stuff. It was kind of like, okay, this is
I knew you were gonna write that.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to mention Dragon's Crown. It's almost out. Super hypersexualized for both men and women.
No one even heard me mumble that
okay.
when you're at the beginning. I
Yeah.
said, oh, Dragon's Crown.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's funny. There was
This game looks amazing. Oh,
there was an article.
the
on, like,
animation quality. Please continue.
There was an article about it was like why you should be excited for Dragon's Crown. It was just screenshots of the characters, but like moving ones.
Oh, I know those moving gifs. Whew. Wizard. Man, that game looks good. I've been waiting for a Golden Axe game for so long. Code of Princess, that was a horrible game. Oh. Fuck.
But no, like back to the whole equality.
Dungeons and Dragons for Capcom, that just came out. That's a pretty good game. It's no Golden Axe though. Dragon's Crown looks
Do
to
you
be...
really want to talk about sexism here?
No, that's the thing. The Dragon's Crown is super
Well,
hypersexualized.
yeah.
Anyways,
big
Gordon was saying
thighs.
something.
I was like, oh,
You know the big thighs thighs. Oh yeah.
Yeah, big
that's
thighs,
great.
big boobs. Where then the warrior guy's got his super big shoulders, and dwarf guy has super big beard. And, you know, elf girl has her super
It's
big
that
bow.
huge beard.
Don't poke me. But yeah, pretty great
Stop
game. I'm super looking
interrupting
forward to
people
it.
then.
It's my video.
Well, he was kind of talking, but it was
We're interrupting
You're
everybody.
doing the
We're all
right
interrupting everybody. And that's just fine. That's the fun we have here.
that's a
CAPMAX
discussion
video.
though. What you
But-
gonna say?
That game is gonna bring up so much controversy. Okay, I'm gonna have a sip.
Go, quick!
The floor is yours.
Go, Gord!
What I was trying to say was in terms of equalizing the playing field, lots of RPGs tend to focus on a storyline for each character. So it tries to make it at least try and seem like they're all trying to be normal, regular people in equal amounts.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only ever started playing Tales of the Abyss for the first time on the 3DS. So I mean,
I gotta get on.
seeing these characters building up, like a prissy princess finally being
anime,
talked to, and a guy scared of girls, so he can't like actually comfortably be within 5 feet of them. So it's like, I mean, you've got these things that are equalizing, and they're building their characters. A woman that's friends with one, but against the master of him. It's like, so I mean, you've got all these different inter-party dynamics that show different characteristics for what you wouldn't expect of most of these people.
That's good too. I liked Persona 4 Golden too. Like I feel like that had really good character developments. Like even though there'd still be like, you get the night job at the hospital, the nurse gives you hand jobs while you're there, but it's like, but then you find out more about the nurse and you find she's a really distressed life, and it's just kind of her way of escaping it all as being
Seriously?
overly sexual. Yeah.
Huh.
Damn.
They don't straight out say it, but it's really obvious. You're
You
getting
mean like Princess Peach's cake?
What?
It's more obvious than that. You guys have to play Persona 4 Golden. Like it is.
I have it.
Work the night janitor job at the hospital. It will pay off. Trust me.
Holla.
But yeah, I like the character development in that. Like
There's dating in that too, sort of, isn't there?
yeah, it's the dating sim as well. Like you go for different characters. But the one stereotype I am so sick of is like the sort of, this is like a Japanese thing with the girl with the long black hair,
Yeah.
straight bangs, like just like.
Well, she's
Bad
like,
at cooking, but just wants to get married, and she's always like, "I'm never gonna get
That's
married. No
cute.
man's gonna
Aw.
love me." And like, yeah, she's the adorable character.
yeah.
Like oh, I can't remember, Mio from, I don't know if you guys know K-On, but she is that character, and then
The light brown hair girl?
she's the one with long black hair that. There's two. There's two. It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
confusing. Anyways, it just happens a lot, and
Yeah.
I
It's
want
all
to see more
Japan.
variety. Lots of girls.
Japan is
different.
just like that, and then they bring.
Well,
the
there are
girls up.
there are lots of group dynamic anime out there.
Well, I feel like it's hard too, just that we'll see more feminist things from Japan because
Yeah.
they don't really have feminism in Japan. Like the women are expected to act certain ways, and like they have to speak quietly.
Yeah, they're
because
certainly
considered-
old-fashioned.
Yeah,
But
Still,
at the same time, like, Final Fantasy games are the opposite of that for women. Most of the time, they're, like, really loud and
Yeah.
empowered women
Yeah.
for Final Fantasy. It's like,
but
Well, it's like comparing X to X2, how they go from like priestess and priestesses and maidens to like J-pop singers, where they're like super skimpy dress.
that's
Still,
just,
like-
that's just the, I mean, the dress sphere
X2 is kind of like the
came out
whole fan service.
No,
You love these
oh,
characters.
fan
Here we are.
Service.
I
Yeah.
started-
Savasu.
I-
Oh, I love my Savasu.
Good.
If I may. In RPGs, the armor that women wear.
yeah.
Just kill me because the armor is not protecting anything, so I might as well be dead anyways.
There's a comic strip I've seen online where it's like shows the guy buying like the bigger armor. It's just like bigger
Yeah.
Yeah.
points here and
Yeah.
sharper. And then the woman's like, all right, what do I get? And they give her like this gold bikini. And it's
To
like,
be fair,
Oh.
some games,
go
Uh,
ahead.
some games like the new, again, Final Fantasy 14, which is coming out, the women have almost exactly the same armor as the men, unless it's like really low level stuff where you're not really wearing armor in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it depends on the class. Like if you're a white mage, you got like a long white robe, and
Or if
it's
you,
not like
okay,
a bikini.
if you play Fable
Now, can you
as
be a
well,
black
you end
or
up as a
white mage?
monster either way.
Yeah.
Well, then, also bringing up the topic of armor, the newest add-on, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragonkeep for Borderlands 2. One of the missions has you finding armor for Ellie, and you find two things of armor. You have the choice of either taking her the small chainmail bikini, and in my opinion she's ugly, or you take the large bulky armor, which she actually wants. So I mean,
But you think she's ugly, so you think if she was a more attractive character, then you would have done
Yeah,
it?
it's hard to say. I mean, yes, I probably would
Which
have.
character are we referring to?
Ellie.
Is that one of the playable characters? The
No,
blue
no,
character?
no.
It's an NPC.
Yeah, NPC.
It's
But
not
no.
that giant boobed thing, is it? Ew. Give her as much armor as you can.
Yeah, okay, look, I'm...
But see, that was almost sexist in its own way.
No, it
that
was,
giant
it
poop
was.
thing. As soon as a woman's
No,
ugly,
if
she's
you-
not worth anything.
No, well,
So,
I haven't played the game.
I could be friends with them, but I mean, I'm still, like, okay, so
I'm a horrible person, Pete.
Obviously.
He's the pig at the table, apparently.
More so, apparently. I mean,
Shut my legs for the first. Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, no, so I went and got her the armor that she wanted.
Good
Like
for
crack.
you.
What armor does she want?
She wants the bulky protective armor.
Yeah.
Because the armor, it's like, this armor would barely protect me or anything. So it's like...
That's fun. So I've never played Borderlands 2. I thought you were just like a shop.
I've played like parts of co-op with people.
I love Borderlands 2 more so than Borderlands, and
I
again,
hear that a lot.
the same thing. I played the female character in both of them because I just found that straight up shoot 'em up abilities. I mean, it's not like you can play in third person mode and watch them the whole time you're playing it. It's a first person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, if it had third person ability, again, it's with RPGs, tend to prefer to play it as the female. But again, this is just a visual perspective as opposed to a story attitude perspective.
Yeah, if you have your choice in an RPG, it's the same story, no matter what race
Mhm.
or sex you are.
In the first one, I just went by whatever their powers were. First, I picked like the super big guy just because he punches things. I thought that sounded pretty funny. And then when I found out how unfun it was, I ended up picking the guy with the turret just because I like turrets from or sentries from Team Fortress.
Well, I mean, I liked the phase shifting instead of like, because I liked running in there and exploding and running away, running in, exploding, running away. So I mean, I thought it was fun because it protected me from damage for a good portion of time, and they lost sight of me. With phase locking, I love just like make a giant friggin' vacuum in the middle of the enemy. It's like, and then they're all there for me to shoot.
Yeah.
I like that better than, let's see, what is there? There's Zero's deception mode. It's like he is invisible and then you can slice people.
The Techromancer thing sounds pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
And that's a female.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Female character.
Another issue is like
Change.
just like girls having role models to look up to in games. Like guys can pick like whoever
Tiny
they want.
Tina.
Oh yeah.
But then when it comes to women having role models and like games that are friendly for women, like it's harder. Like I took pride in the fact that FemShep was cooler than Shepard. Like I felt that personally. Like I felt like
It's nice that they gave that option.
yeah, and I felt like Shepard was really hokey and he was like, tell me about the Reapers and like he was just like and then FemShep was like just kind of like
She's kind of sassy.
yeah, I purposely made my FemShep like look like a hideous alien because I just it made me feel good inside that I
I tried to make my
that was an
shepherd look like
option.
me, and it didn't look quite right. His cheekbones. You can like adjust the cheekbones. And,
Yeah, there's too much customization, but
Yeah.
anyways,
It's nice to have it. I guess one last thing before we end this is a lot of people are modifying classic games so you can play as like Princess Zelda or Pauline or whatever. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
but like how empowering is that really?
Same thing. You just
Especially when there's
you're just like
glitches where their
Zelda.
clothes come off and it's like, yeah, let's zoom in on
Oh.
that butt, take some screenshots.
You know, that Dead or Alive 5. It's a horrible game, but man,
Oh, Jesus.
it's fun to look at.
That's gonna be major fan service. That's
Every Dead or
It's
Alive
a-
game is fan
It's
service.
funny because I was like,
You can't even
Buy
block
this.
properly in that game. Oh, it's such a pain to play. I do like that new boxer girl though. I like her gumption. Fun character. I was thinking if there was like a boxer guy like from Borderlands 1, but it was a girl. Kind of like Tifa maybe. That'd be cool.
I feel like if this video proved anything,
It proved
should be
nothing.
that you should look at this man right here and realize how men feel about gaming. Like, you can't even focus on the topic. Like, there's this nothing for you to relate to. You're just like, well, there was boobies there. I like that.
She knows me so well.
This is how games are being viewed by
And this is
the
why
general public. Like,
Well, I have to give the people some entertainment. Let's just leave it at that. Right, Brandon?
Sure.
Is he falling asleep again? Are we playing Rayman again?
you look like you need some ointment
Yeah.
for that burn.
Yeah, he does. He's
Wait,
pretty red.
can you lift up the little
Yeah, it's like,
Ow. Oh, we have fun at the CAPMAX video podcast. Alright, well, yeah, I thought it was fun. Anyone else have any thoughts and opinions? I guess I blame Japan. They're just old-fashioned and lazy. People, stop being so lazy. You can kidnap other things besides women. Kidnap a
Yeah,
dog.
it's not even like just kidnapping. It's just like just introduce some better characters, like women can look up to.
Yeah.
You know that you also don't look
Let us
down
pick
to.
as a guy or a girl. No, that's cool. You don't have to be saving the girl. And, yeah, just be a bit more creative.
Yeah, it's not that hard
Yeah.
to just write for a woman.
Show boobs, show muscular men. I mean, everyone wins, right?
bulgy man.
Sure.
Yeah,
You can get
I want to
my
see little
breasts.
skinny balding guys that are real people. That's what I want
Do
to
you?
see.
Really? I mean,
What?
Like
Are you guys
Lester
talking
the
about-
Unlikely for the Super Nintendo. Where
Like,
I swear
okay.
you're playing as the video game guy.
That's
Weird.
why I liked Catherine. Is you're playing this
Yeah.
really awkward, weird.
How
Like,
does he get those two women?
Vincent, like, okay, well,
Japan.
have you played the game? Because, like, one of them is, like, total... See,
Yeah.
even Catherine, she's, like,
You
a
were gonna
total
say.
nag. She, like,
Which one? The brown?
spoilers. She's
Brown
like,
hair or
she's
blonde
like,
hair?
oh, I'm pregnant, so now you have to
Brown
marry
hair.
me. Yeah, the brown hair with glasses. And then the other one's
She wants to get
Succubus
married.
from Hell, who's,
Spoiler alert!
who is
Where did
only
that?
there just to try and pressure Vincent into stop wasting his life and to get married to Catherine.
That's nice.
That's her only purpose.
that doesn't
It's the
sound like
force
We could use more
succubus.
succubi in the real world.
Well, because if Vincent stays with her, then he ends up like ruling the underworld and becomes a demon.
That's so cool.
It's actually a really funny ending. You should watch the clip if you can.
I'll play it eventually.
And then the girls like duke
So
it
many
out at
games.
some point, and like one tries to stab the other one, and things get out of control. But still, it's like they never. I just wanted them to have a heart to heart. That's all I want. Some good writing, some heart to
Yeah.
heart. Not
Sounds
just have them
like fun.
arguing over a man.
Yeah, no, right. Ugh, man. Ugh. Alright, I guess, yeah, let's cut it here.
Okay,
Thanks for watching. We'll see you for part 3.
there's a part 3.
Yeah, we're doing that now.